Hey everyone, Colin once again, and there's no introduction. Just like we already know what this video is about. I'm your Huckleberry. Why, Johnny Ringo, looks like someone just walked over your grave. Yeah, I love that line. So yeah, as we all know, we lost another great actor. An actor I've always enjoyed. He was not my top favorite actors though, but regardless, though, he was such a great actor though. Regardless, but Val Kilmer sadly passed away just recent at the age of 65 from pneumonia. Not good, you know. I I recall there was another actor I know that died from pneumonia. I think it was Bob Hoskins, from last I remember, because he retired in 2012, and I think the next year he passed away. I think he retired because he had pneumonia. That's when he died from it, I think. You know Bob Hoskins from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? But I think he had pneumonia, but I think he died from it though. But I think I remember some other actor who died from pneumonia. And so Val Kilmer, and we also know throughout the years he was battling throat cancer. You know, that was another sad thing about it, because with the cancer, it kind of made him not age that well. That was another sad thing, especially when you see his last film, Top Gun Maverick. You know how the way he looked, just like it was sad to see him. You know, like that. You know, I even said the same thing when I reviewed Top Gun Maverick. But other than that, though, Val Kilmer, another terrific actor. I always enjoyed him growing up. You know, I mean, my favorite. Especially recently, not that long ago, I reviewed his debut in the comedy Top Secret, from the makers of Airplane, from the directors of Airplane. I reviewed that film recently, not that long ago. It's a fun comedy. The guys who did Airplane did a good job. So for most of the jokes, I thought was funny. I had a very good chuckle. I enjoyed it though. And Val Kilmer, him doing that type of comedy from the makers of Airplane, you didn't see him do that type of comedy afterwards though. But Val Kilmer did a good job as the character Nick Rivers, him singing and dancing and doing these comedic hijinks in that movie. Top Secret was fun. And of course, afterwards, he would go on to do films like Real Genius. He started in director Ron Howard's film, the fantasy film Willow, along with Warwick Davis. I know what was the other stuff from the 80s. Yeah, of course, Top Gun. Of course, I mentioned Top Gun, but the first Top Gun is Iceman. Which Tom Cruise, speaking of Tom Cruise, I already know that he's said his tribute and condolences to Val Kilmer, because I think they were good friends in real life. So it just makes that all though this is a very sad moment when during that one scene in the sequel of Top Gun Maverick, which I also like to talk about, when he was talking to Val Kilmer in that scene about discussing the thing with Rooster, and then with Val Kilmer saying, hey, you know, it's time to let go, right? And of course, with some enhancements, what they did with his voice, you know, just even though they enhance his voice, it's still sad to hear him talk like that. Regardless, though, you know, the kid needs Maverick, and of course, after they have that heartwarming moment, emotional moment, hugging it out, and then Val Kilmer goes and says, "One last thing, who's the better pilot? You or me?" Tom Cruise. This is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it. He's like, and then I show the picture of both of them back from the first movie. You know, back when. To me, that's still the best part of the movie. I thought there was such heartfelt character moment for both of them. You know, when they reunited in that scene. You know, it was just. and because I know that it was also during that scene that was Tom Cruise, because he was also very emotional, crying when he worked with Val Kilmer in that scene. Not during during the scene, but off behind the scenes. So I know that's why I think he was I'm sure he was upset, very sure he was upset, and of course he paid his condolences to him whenever he passed away. Damn sure of it. But that was a very such an emotional, heartwarming scene in Top Gun Maverick. Of course, I enjoyed him in the first Top Gun, of course. But and then afterwards, he started in the film The Doors. Based from the band The Doors, where he played the lead singer Jim Morrison. Of course, my favorite role of his always has been was in starring in my favorite Western film Tombstone, when he played Doc Holliday. That's what I was quoting in the beginning of this video. With a great cast. I mean, it started with him, along with Kurt Russell, the late Bill Paxton, rest in peace to him, and Sam Elliott, along with other great cast members: Billy Zane, Michael Rooker, the late Powers Booth, Michael Biehn, even a small role from the late Charlton Heston. Many actors in that movie, and just my favorite role was his as Doc Holliday, or and we was just talking, or like we was talking with Stephen Lang also in the film as Ike, and we just when because in Doc Holliday, because he had tuberculosis and so much gambling, he was fighting with Ike. He's like, "Why, Ike? Maybe gambling's not for you. Maybe poker's not for you. I know. Let's have a spelling contest." Or the moment when it was with talking with Johnny Ringo, Michael Biehn, right? Look, Don, Johnny Ringo, the deadliest pistolier since Wild Bill, they say. What do you think, darling? Should I hate him? I don't know. Reminds me of me. No, I'm sure. I hate him. And they start speaking in Latin. And then when Michael Biehn, doing the flipping with the gun, right, showing off, right, and then Val Kilmer does it with his the little tin cup they carries with him. He starts flipping over and just with a straight face like this. And everyone's just like clapping for him as well, including Billy Zane. Bravo! Yeah. Or of course, and then with him fighting. When we do some fun of the show, the OK Corral, or by the end of it, when he has to stand off with Michael Biehn, with the quote said, "Why, Johnny Ringo, looks like someone just walked over your grave," and then just shoots him right in the head, and then finishes the mission with Kurt Russell, and then by the end, when he was on his deathbed, and Wyatt Earp, Kurt Russell, gives him this little handbook that he wrote for him, and then by the end when he notices that his left foot is smaller than his right foot, and he's like, "Oh, B, this is funny," and then just like his last breath, just died in his deathbed. I mean, to me, my favorite role of Val Kilmer. To me, he was robbed of an Oscar. For his Best Supporting Actor in Tombstone. He should have got nominated. At least nominated, right? He never did. And that just pisses me off. Another thing, there was another shit thing about the Oscar. I give shit about the Oscars for, Sometimes some actors never get nominated for an Oscar for anything. I don't think Val Kilmer never got nominated for anything for an Oscar. I don't remember. Not that I don't recall. I mean, even during the 90s, he was like one of the most highest paid actors, during the 90s. I mean, for that, he should have got nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Tombstone, He was phenomenal in it, just as Doc Holliday. Especially the whole time when the makeup, make him look all sick and pale because he's dying, right? That's another more reason why I would say, fuck the Oscars, It's a bunch of shitbags. But then other than Tombstone, of course, he was starring in the third one, Batman Forever. He played Bruce Wayne, Batman. Of course, and afterwards he was starring in the film The Saint, which I haven't seen that film forever. I do remember liking it, but I haven't seen that. For all I remember, I do remember liking The Saint with him along with Elizabeth Shue. He was going to star in The Saint. Of course, what else? True Romance from director Tony Scott. Heat. That's another great movie. Heat with him along with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, directed by Michael Mann. Heat. That doesn't get nominated for anything. That's a great movie. Another great movie. I enjoy Heat. Yeah, with him, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. That's a great movie. The Ghost in the Darkness with him and Michael Douglas about the killer lion. I mean, I like the score by Jerry Goldsmith, my favorite composer. I mean, both the actors are another problem. Their acting was fine in it. I have to rewatch that film again. Of course, the famous one, the Island of Dr. Moreau, with Val Kilmer, him and Marlon Brando. Ron Perlman has a role in it. Of course, the disaster hell of making that movie was, right? From John Frankenheimer, I think it was from another director as well before him. Yeah, that was a hellish production for that movie. And by the end result, the film didn't do that well either, so the payoff was another bit of a waste of time. Of course, you know what a hard-ass Marlon Brando was, because he didn't give a shit about doing his lines or anything. I know during that time his daughter passed away. I sympathize with that, but just still, you're doing a movie. If you don't give a shit though, but just quit though. But I know his daughter passed away during that time, and I understand that, and that can affect somebody. Like it can affect your skills and all that stuff though. So that part I do understand though, but I'm not talking about Marlon Brando. I'm talking about Val Kilmer now, but just a little off thing about how hard it is to work with Marlon Brando. But that hellish production of The Island of Dr. Moreau, that was just a disaster. And I was not a fan of the movie either. It wasn't It's not Val Kilmer's fault, you know. Red Planet, that was during 2000, where there was two films, two parallel movies. That was about Mars. You got Mission to Mars, which I like. Red Planet, I don't remember hating it. I don't remember hating Red Planet, but at least with him, the late Tom Sizemore, who has also passed away, and Carrie-Anne Moss. I don't remember hating that movie, but if I had picked which one was more the better version of the Mars movie during that time, I think I'd pick Mission to Mars still, though. But I don't remember hating. I don't remember hating Red Planet. Oh, and of course there was that famous gem it was called Hard Cash, with him and Christian Slater. Yeah, that was I remember that's a very faulty, very flawed movie. Hard Cash. Yeah. And then he was starring in Ron Howard's The Missing with him and Tommy Lee Jones. That was a flop though. Let's see here. Alexander, the huge box office flop. Alexander from also from Oliver Stone, which he did previously in The Doors. I wasn't a fan of Alexander. Mindhunters I like. I enjoy Mindhunters. That was with him, LL Cool J, also with Christian Slater. That wasn't one I liked. I like Mindhunters from director Renny Harlin. I enjoy that film. Kiss Bang Bang. I think I remember still haven't seen. Deja Vu with Denzel Washington. I think I don't mind that one. And that's when starting the later years when his throat cancer was starting to get to him. MacGruber from 2010. Kill the Irishman. Yeah, this is the later films that I have not watched though. His later movies, like from after the 2010s, I have not watched though. Well, of course, there's one that I have seen from 2017. That was a complete utter shit, and that was The Snowman. That was a film that starred Michael Fassbender, from the director of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. It was supposed to be like this, supposedly like in the vein of what was it supposed to be? I know that it was like kind of being like a successor to what was that movie? Alright, cut there. I was looking because I had a paper I wrote long ago about about that movie, because it would, I do like sometimes I write I do rants on paper, like as if I'm doing it on a video on here, but I do it on paper where I do release more fury on paper more than I do on camera though. I know I did something on that film. I can't find, because I knew it was sort of like in the vein of that type of a crime thriller movie. I forget though; it's out of my head now. But it was sad to see him in that movie, but he died in a shitty way, Stupid, It was a waste of him, and we could tell when he was kind of knew that was his throat cancer. It was dumb. But anyway, yeah, that was shit. The Snowman. And then he did the documentary on himself called Val. And then the last film he did, Top Gun Maverick. So, but I enjoyed Val Kilmer. It was just sad. I mean, of course, other ones that like I said, that paid tribute to him, like director Ron Howard, Michael Mann, like I said, director Michael Mann of Heat, Ron Howard, even Francis Ford Coppola, who I've said, you already said my thoughts on during the past about him, so. But yes, he still. So I can't hate him for saying his condolences to Val Kilmer. I can't hate him on that part, though. I can hate him on a whole bunch of things, but not that, though. Including Josh Brolin, of course, like I said, Tom Cruise, Christian Slater, Nicolas Cage, James Woods, Matthew Modine, Cher, Brad Pitt. Yeah, even critic Richard Roper as well. So, I'm sure other ones are too as well, but Val Kilmer is just, like I said, I enjoy him from, like, I love Tombstone. Batman Forever I like, though. But I really enjoy Heat. True Romance I like. Of course, the first Top Gun, I enjoy Top Secret. Willow, I don't mind. To me, the better, like, for fantasy movies, I prefer Krull. But I don't mind Willow. Even I don't mind, like I said before, as for fantasy films like those, like Willow or Legend, to me the best one I would say is Krull. But other ones like Real Genius, Kill Me Again, I didn't mention that one. Kill Me Again, Thunderheart, The Real McCoy, Wings of Courage. That was a short movie. The Saint, I remember. Oh, he also voiced in the DreamWorks movie The Prince of Egypt. I said Red Planet. I didn't hate. First Sight, Joe the King, Dead Girl, The Ghost in the Darkness, of course, The Island of Dr. Moreau. But Tombstone is always going to be my favorite role for Val Kilmer. Like I said, he should have got a nomination for an Oscar for that as Doc Holliday. So, yeah, we're all gonna miss Val Kilmer. Like I said, he was a terrific actor, and just sad, just pneumonia. First he fought through throat cancer, but in the end it was pneumonia that got him. 65 years old. He was just like 4 years older than both my parents, Yeah, 4 years older than my parents. But I don't think, did he ever get a star? A star on the Walk of Fame. Did he ever get that? If so, if he didn't, that's a shame though. I don't think he did get. Did he get? I don't remember he did get a star on the Walk of Fame. If he did, that's screwed up, So, if anyone does know he did get a Walk of Fame or not, let me know in the comments because I'm pretty sure he didn't. And if not so, then it's more screwed up as well. So, if he did go to a Walk of Fame or no Oscar nomination for Tombstone, which by the way, yeah, speaking of Tombstone, if you can see, I saw the poster of Tombstone right down here where my finger is. The poster is still right here, though. Yeah, where my finger is pointing, it's still right there. Tombstone. So yeah, I still got that though, because that's my favorite Western movie. So another great actor is now passed away though. But I reviewed recently his first movie, Top Secret. Go check that out. It's a fun movie and a fun comedy film too. So just check out my review, and if not, check out the movie. Just Top Secret from the makers of the original Airplane. My review of it, or check out the movie itself. So, but Top Gun Maverick, just that scene with him, and Tom Cruise is also now I can see now the emotional moment with Tom Cruise having that moment with him in that scene just makes it more as like saying goodbye to him. The more I think about it now. Who's the better pilot, you or me? This is a nice moment. Let's not ruin it. Hugging it out. And then the picture of the both of them together from the first movie. Damn shame. Damn shame. Heat. I bring Heat because that's a great movie too. I enjoy Heat a lot. That also should have got nominated for an Oscar too. Heat and Tombstone. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Later.